Hello, this is KG Outdoors 16, and today I will be preparing for deer season. Today is in exactly a month until Ohio deer archery season starts, and I'm very excited because that means I get to go deer hunting, and who isn't excited to go hunting? So, without further ado, I'm going to show you how I prepare for deer season. I hope you enjoy the video. So right now, I'm going to be putting up this ground blind I've had laying around in my house for about 5 years now. It's gonna go to good use finally. So I'm gonna put up the ground blind. I finally got the ground blind up. It took me about a minute, and I put it right next to a good spot for deer. Let me get in the blind and show you the point of view from inside. So this is the place I wanted to hunt, preferably right where that tree is vertically right across. Right there is a deer trail, and a lot of big bucks and doe travel through there, and that's probably going to be the main place I need to hunt at. So I'm going to cut my shooting hole right through here, and I'll show you after I cut the shooting hole. Here, I got one shooting hole right here, and I got another one right here, so this one doesn't really need much work. Right here is my trail camera. I don't know if you could tell, but you see that that like area that looks like a motorcycle track? Yeah, that's the deer trail. It goes all the way up here, and there's a lot of apples in here, which is good for the deer. But right here, deer trail forks. Either it goes that way or that way, and then my ground blind is right there. By the way, my ground blind's not in the deer trail. The deer trail goes a little bit to the left of the ground blind. So I'm gonna get those shooting holes cut. Well, I finally got the shooting holes cut. So how about we take a look at them? This is the view from the original spot. Right about there, there used to be a tree there. I cut it down. We got way more clearance. We got shooting range about to 40 yards all the way out there. Then outside here, kind of cleared it out in there. That's about 50, 60 yard range for gun when it dies out, but right now, perfect bow range. All the way down there, all the way down there. I can get down there. Then finally, on my third and final window right here, we just got that little frontal area and out there. So shooting holes are my #1 thing I like to prepare for before deer season, because if you cut a bunch of brush down in the middle of deer season, they will notice it and it'll disturb their pattern a little. So it's better off to do it about a month ahead before deer season, or a week or two behind deer season, because it's always good to get a nice clear shot on your deer and not have a bullet ricochet or an arrow ricochet and not hit the deer, or it hits the deer and it doesn't kill it. So I'm going to check out my other tree stands, see if they need some cutting, check out the trail cameras, see what deer we have prowling around, and check on the clover food plot. So I'll fill you in if anything interesting happens. Well, right now I am standing at my tree stand location, and I'm going to see if it needs a couple shooting holes cut. A lot of trees died around my tree stand this year. Let's see if you could see it, but yeah, a lot of dead trees this year around my tree stand, so it should be pretty easy. My tree stand is that itty bitty piece of ladder all the way out there, but should be pretty easy for a shooting hole since it's already pretty clear in here. We got a ton of apples over there, which is pretty good for the deer to eat. And kind of ran out of trail camera straps, so I just balanced it in the tree. It's been working out pretty good. So I'm gonna go get in the tree stand and see what we need to cut. It's actually quite clear up here. I have a shooting lane right ahead of me in between those two big trees. I have a good amount of space down here. I don't know if you can see that, but all the way down there, right about there, is my trail camera. It's all the way down there. But now, I got a good view. You can't see it for all the thick brush, but back there about a couple yards is the food plot. And around here, it's all pretty clear. I might come back in a month or two and cut a hole or two, but it looks pretty satisfying to me because when the leaves fall, it gets way more clear than what it is. Right now we are in the food plot. You can see all the Whitetail Institute clover. It's doing pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of weeds in it. I haven't been out here much to mow it, but there's enough clover for the deer to eat. Right here we got the 5-foot tree stand because it's only like 5 feet off the ground. Now I call it the 5-foot stand. It doesn't really make sense to put it 5 feet off the ground, but usually in the fall, right here, I put a blind structure around the tree stand, so it's like a ground blind. Because from the tree stand, it's a downhill slope, and it's about 17 feet parallel to the tree stand. So from right about here, it's about 17 feet off the ground. But from right there, it's 5 foot. We got lots of apples in the woods over here. This should be a good place to harvest a nice buck or doe. You can see all the Whitetail Institute clover with weeds because I didn't spray it yet this year. You can kind of see all the clover. This is good grazing material for the deer. I hit the jackpot. This is a ton of red apples, and this is like 50 feet from the 5-foot stand. The 5-foot stand is through those woods all the way over there. You can't see it because of the leaves, but in the wintertime you could see the 5-foot stand here, and you could see any deer over here. This would be a good gun blind. Maybe I'll put a tree stand right up in that tree if the deer seem to be hitting these apples a lot. Oh no, here's the other trail camera. Oh, this camera's so new to me. I just bought this brand new like 2 or 3 days ago. Let's see if we got anything on the trail camera. I am disappointed. I got pictures of 100 squirrels, a lot of raccoons, and no deer. Well, I'm not that disappointed because my camera has only been out for 2 days. But, oh well. But I got a ton of deer pictures last September, so August, September, it should be picking up pretty soon. But right now, the deer aren't really moving. They're sitting on people's lawns, eating grass, not apples. Well, I think I'm going to close out the video. My preparation for deer season is almost over. I just need to sight in my new crossbow, sight in the compound bow, and I'll sight in my shotgun when it comes time for gun season. But to wrap up the video, to prepare for deer season, always make sure that you're prepared. That is the #1 key. Make sure you have your shooting holes cut, make sure your food plots are ready, make sure you actually have your food plots planted, and make sure you have your trail cameras out well ahead of deer season so you can pattern the deer and get ready for deer season. I hope you're seeing big bucks. I've seen a couple big bucks, but not on trail camera. I hope I can get some pictures of deer. And I'm probably going to do an update next week, as long as the weather permits. And I'm also going to do an early goose season video, which should be up by, I'm going to say, next Monday or Tuesday. And that should be exciting because I'm going up to Northwest Ohio for teal. So, stay tuned to my channel for the next couple of weeks. We're going to get into hunting, full-scale hunting, and it's going to be awesome.